Uh, Welcome class to yet another day where we'll be looking at Module 13, Attackers and their Tools. Attackers and their Tools. Who is attacking your network? We need to find out who they are and what tools that they are using. Why do they even want to attack your network? So attackers want to access your assets such as what? Data and other intellectual properties. They want to access your servers, they want to access your computers, they want to access your smartphones, your tablets, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, you have your assets here, you have your threats, you have your vulnerability. There is a meeting point, all right? And what is the meeting point? The meeting point is that all of them are what? They are at risk, okay? Now, to understand network security, it is very important for us to know the concept of threat, the concept of vulnerability, the attack surface, exploits, and risk, okay? So threats is usually a potential danger, all right, to an asset such as data or the network itself. Yeah. So threat is a potential danger to an asset such as data or the network itself. And vulnerability is basically what? Weakness. A weakness in your system or in your design that could be exploited by a threat. Then an attack surface is the total sum of your vulnerabilities in a given system. So all the vulnerability surfaces are the attack surfaces, and they can be accessible to the attacker, right? Exploit is the mechanism that is used to leverage a vulnerability to compromise an asset. So leverage, exploit is like mechanism that is used to leverage a vulnerability to compromise it. And it may be remote or sometimes even local. All right. So a remote exploit is one that works over the network without any prior access to the target system. While in the local exploit, the threat actor has some types of what? Administrative access to the end system. All right. Now, risk is the likelihood that a particular threat or will exploit a particular vulnerability of an asset. Now, risk management is the process that balances the operational costs and providing protective measures with the gains achieved by protecting the assets. All right. And risk acceptance, risk avoidance, risk reduction, and risk transfer are 4 ways we can actually manage risks. They are like strategies we can manage the risk we have. The risk acceptance is when the cost of risk management options outweighs the cost of the risk. The risk is accepted and no action is taken. The risk avoidance means you are avoiding any exposure to risk by implementing the activity, thus resulting in losing any benefits from the activity. So, risk reduction reduces the exposure to risk. It is the most common used risk mitigation strategy. All right, and sometimes it requires careful evaluation of the cost of loss, the mitigation strategy, and the benefits gained from the operation or activity that is at risk. The risk transfer, some or all of the risk is transferred to a willing third party, such as insurance company. All right. The common risk security terms are countermeasure and impact. Countermeasure is the action taken to protect assets by mitigating a threat or reducing the risk, while the impact is the potential damage to the organization that is caused by the threat. Okay? A hacker is a common term used to describe a threat actor. A hacker has a variety of meanings. A clever programmer capable of developing new programs and making coding changes to existing programs to make them more efficient is an hacker. Or is a network professional that uses sophisticated programming skills to ensure networks are not vulnerable to the attack. Another is an individual who runs programs to prevent corrupt data and server. So if you look at it, it all has to do with programs, programming, programs. So that means they are talking about coding, okay? And we have three types of hackers. We have the white hat hacker, the gray hat hacker, and the black hat hacker. The white hat hackers are ethical hackers who use their programming skills for good, ethical and legal purposes. The gray hat hackers are individuals who commit crimes and ethical things, but not for personal gain or to cause damage. But the black hat hacker, which is the worst, are usually unethical criminals who do what? Who violate computer and network security for professional gain. The term threat actor is used when referring to an individual or group that could be classified as gray or black hat hacker. And we're talking about threat actors. Okay? Hacking started in 1960 with a phone phreaking, which refers to using various audio frequencies to manipulate phone systems, right? In the early 1960s, threat actors realized that by mimicking a tone using a whistle, they could exploit the phone switch to make free long-distance calls. In the mid-1980s, threat actors wrote war dialing programs which dial each tone number in a given area in search of computers, bulletin board systems, and fax machines. When a phone number was found, password cracking programs are used to gain access. So there are types of threat actors. We have the script kiddies, we have the vulnerability brokers, we have the hacktivists, the cyber criminals, the state-sponsored hackers. So the script kiddies are referred to teenagers, inexperienced threat actors, running script tools to cause harm, but typically not for profit. Maybe sometimes they are just exploiting or exploration, or trying to do trial and error, or, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. Vulnerability brokers refers to gray hat hackers who attempt to discover exploits and report to vendors for prizes or rewards. That's vulnerability brokers. So they are mostly like gray hat hackers. Hacktivists refer to also gray hat hackers who rally and protest against different political and social ideas. So you see, this and this are similar. Why? Because they are both gray hat hackers. They are not doing it for personal gain. The difference is that for vulnerability brokers, when they discover, they go to look for prizes and award. But hacktivists, they do that for political and social ideas. Cybercriminals refers to black hat hackers who are either self-employed or working for large cybercrime organizations. All right, and state-sponsored hackers are threat actors who steal government secrets, gather intelligence, sabotage networks for foreign governments, terrorist groups, and for corporations. Cybercriminals are threat actors who are motivated to make money using many necessary means, including identity theft, phishing, cracking, spyware, password breaking, scamming, coding, viruses, and things like that. Fraud, they use all these means, and they steal billions of dollars from consumers and businesses every year. They operate in underground economy and buy and sell personal information and intellectual property that they steal from victims. They target small businesses and consumers, as well as large enterprise and industries. So threat actors target the home users, small, medium to business size, as well as large public and private organizations. Okay? Hence, cybersecurity is a shared responsibility which all users must practice to make the internet and networks safer and more secure. Organizations must take action and protect their assets. All right? Users and customers, they must develop and practice cybersecurity tasks, such as those mentioned in this list here. So we must practice trustworthy of IT vendors. We must secure security softwares up to date. We must make sure regular penetration testing are done. We must back up our devices to the cloud and hard drive. We must periodically change the Wi-Fi password of our network. We must create security policies and update them every now and then. We should enforce use of strong password, and we should also use the two-factor authentication. All right, if we do this, we are contributing to cybersecurity in our networks. Now, indicators of compromise are evidence that an attacker has occurred, and each attack has a unique identifying attribute. Indicators of compromise can be featured that identify malware files, IP addresses of servers that are used in attacks, file names and characteristics, changes made to the end system, amongst others. Indicators of compromise can also help cybersecurity personnel identify what has happened in an attack and develop defenses against the attack. So, indicators of attack. We have seen of compromise. Indicators of attack focus more on motivation and strategies behind an attack and the attackers to gain access to assets. Indicators of attacks help to generate proactive security approach that can be reused in multiple contexts and multiple attacks. Defending against a strategy can therefore prevent future attacks. Threat sharing and building cybersecurity awareness. Governments are now actively promoting cybersecurity, right? That is why the US Cybersecurity Infrastructure Agency is leading efforts to automate sharing of cybersecurity information with public and private organizations at no cost so that you can learn from them. CISA uses a system called automated indicator sharing. and enables the sharing of attack indicators between US government and the private sector as soon as the threats are verified. The European Union Agency for Cybersecurity delivers advice and solutions for the cybersecurity challenges of the European Union member states. CISA and the National Cybersecurity Alliance have an annual campaign in every October called the National Security Awareness Month. Okay, every October, National Security Awareness Month. All right, to raise awareness about cybersecurity. So it's done by CISA. Okay, so these are roles that the government is doing to ensure cybersecurity. So threat sharing and building cybersecurity awareness, still talking about it. The theme for the 2019 National National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Look at it, National Cybersecurity Awareness Month for 2019 was Own It, Secure It, and Protect It. All right, for security topics provided through campaign, social media safety, updating privacy settings, awareness of device app security, keeping softwares up to date, safe online shopping, Wi-Fi security, and protecting customers. So what are the tools threat actors use? To exploit vulnerability, a threat actor must have a unique tool or technique. Over the years, attack tools have become more sophisticated and highly automated. So these new tools require less technical knowledge to implement. All right, as you can see in this figure here, the drag and white circles across the timeline to view the relationship. For instance, this is the technical knowledge. This is the sophistication of the attack. All right, in 1985 to 2000, the sophistication of the attack was not very high. But from 2005 to 2015, it was what? Very, very high. Ethical hacking involves using many different types of tools to test the network and end devices. To validate the security of a network and its system, many network penetration testing tools have been developed, and many of these tools can be used by different threat actors for exploitation. Okay. Threat actors have also created various hacking tools. Cyber personnel must also know how to use these tools when performing penetration tests. Well, some of the list of categories of common network penetration testing tools include password hackers, crackers, okay, wireless hacking tools, and they're used to hack into wireless networks, network scanning and hacking tools. They're used to probe network devices, servers, and hosts, and find these free UDP ports or TCP ports. Packet crafting tools. They are usually used to probe and test a firewall robustness to see whether it's hard or good. Then packet sniffers. Yeah. They are used to capture and analyze packets within traditional Ethernet. It's, like Wireshark or TCP DOM. The rootkit detectors. It's a directory to and file integrity checker used by white hat to detect installed rootkits. And then fuzzers to search vulnerabilities. These are like the tools. forensic tools, debuggers, hacking operation systems, encryption tools, vulnerability exploitation tools, and vulnerability scanners. All right. Threat actors use the previously mentioned tools or a combination of these tools to create various attacks. It is important to understand that threat actors use a variety of security tools to carry out these attacks. Okay. Following the following table displays common types of attacks. We have the eavesdropping attack. We have the data modification attack. We have the IP address spoofing attack. What's the difference? Eavesdropping attack is when a threat actor captures and listens to network traffic. Okay, it's like it's dropping. All right, so they use sniffing or snooping tools. They just listen to network traffic. Data modification attacks occur when a threat actor has captured an enterprise traffic and has altered the data in the packet without the knowledge of the sender or receiver. Very bad. And then address spoofing. An IP address spoofing attack is when a threat actor constructs an IP packet that appears to originate from a valid address inside the corporation's operating intranet. Password-based attacks. Password occurs when a threat actor obtains the credentials of a valid user account. Denial of service attack prevents the normal use of computer by network or by valid users. Okay. Man-in-the-middle attack occurs when threat actors have positioned themselves between the source and the destination. Compromise key attack occurs when a threat actor obtains a secret key. All right, a compromised key can be used to gain access to a secure communication without the sender or receiver. A sniffer is an application or device that can read, monitor, and capture network data exchanges and read network packets. If the packets are not encrypted, a sniffer provides full view of the data inside the packets. This is the end of chapter 13. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.